In this video, we're talking about the beautiful city of Zagreb, Croatia. And don't worry, I do all the research so you don't have to. Choosing a destination is only the first step in planning your dream European vacation. After you've chosen where to go, all the hours of research, planning, and booking begins. This can be frustrating and overwhelming. I will cover all the exact itineraries, logistics, expert tips and tricks so that you aren't burnt out before you even depart. This video is part of the larger Croatia itinerary I talk about here. And in that itinerary, I give you 2 days in Zagreb. In this video, I'm going to talk about what you can do with those 2 days, but I'm also going to include what you can do if you have more time than that. Zagreb is Croatia's capital city, and it lies in the north of the country. It sits between the Sava River and this mountain that I can't say. It's an interesting mix of history and has a modern flair to it. It's a great place to get to know Croatia, its culture, food, people, and history. The oldest known settlement in the area was the Roman settlement of Andautonia, dating back to the 1st century. In the 11th century, there were 2 separate towns. Capital, which was the ecclesiastical settlement inhabited mostly by clergy and housing the Zagreb Cathedral, and Gradac, the secular town inhabited mostly by tradespeople and merchants. There were disputes between these settlements through the years, resulting in the clergy excommunicating the citizens of Gradac twice. There were also massacres of the citizens, as well as destruction of property. These 2 settlements gradually grew, and in 1850 they were merged, forming the city we know today. Throughout its history, Zagreb has endured numerous invasions, wars, and occupations, each leaving a mark on its architecture and culture. Luckily, it was able to escape the Croatian War of Independence in the early 1990s without major damage. So when is the best time to go? Zagreb is a city that offers something for everyone all throughout the year. Spring and fall are particularly lovely with milder temperatures and fewer crowds. Temperatures in April are mid-60s and May are around 70s, and then September is 70s and October is 60s. The summer months are definitely when Croatia gets its most visitors, although it doesn't feel as busy as the Dalmatian coast in the south of Croatia. Temperatures in the summer are mid-80s, and there are a few festivals in the summer which are fun as well. The winter, although it does get snow, the temperatures aren't bitter. Christmas is a fun time to be in the city as it is known for its festivities. The city is decorated with fairy lights, and the annual Advent in Zagreb Christmas market is one of the best in Europe. This creates a magical atmosphere, which is the perfect place to celebrate the holidays. What to see? Zagreb is split into Upper Town and Lower Town, and the 2 are connected by the world's shortest funicular ride. Upper Town is where you'll find most of the historic and religious sites, and then Lower Town is where you'll find most of the museums and theaters. Start your day wandering the sights of Upper Town. One of the best places to start is at the Zagreb Cathedral, also known as the Cathedral of St. Stephen or the Cathedral of the Assumption of the Blessed Mary. This church towers majestically over Capitol Square. The Zagreb Cathedral has stood as a symbol of the city's religious and cultural heritage for centuries. It is the 2nd tallest building in Croatia, and its 2 towers, which are 341 feet high, are landmarks of the city as they are visible from many parts of Zagreb. One of the towers was damaged in an earthquake in 2020. Construction of this iconic cathedral began in the 13th century, and it underwent numerous renovations and expansions over the years, resulting in a blend of architectural styles. When the Ottomans invaded in the 15th century, fortification walls were built around the cathedral, and some of these can still be seen. The cathedral has witnessed numerous important events throughout Croatia's history, including the coronation of several Croatian kings and the burial of prominent figures. It is free to get in, but there is an extra cost for guided tours or access to specific areas such as the treasury. Right now, the Zagreb Cathedral is closed for renovation, so when you go visit, check ahead of time if it's open. Just a short walk from the Zagreb Cathedral are the iconic red umbrellas of this market. This is Zagreb's main open-air farmers market. Traders from all over Croatia come here to sell their fresh fruits, vegetables, fish, cheese, pasta, sweets, and other local products. You can also find souvenirs, flowers, and other goods as well. It is open daily from the morning to early afternoon. Hours vary, so check that out before you go. The red umbrellas covering the stalls have become an iconic symbol of the city and one of its most recognizable landmarks. After you're done at the market, take a stroll over to this street. This is a beautiful street that is lined with shops, cafes, restaurants, and boutiques. It is a great spot to do some shopping or grab a snack. At the turn of the 20th century, prostitution was legal, and this street was actually the center of the red light district. Brothels were located up and down the street. They were not allowed to advertise, but could place an uncommon color of lantern outside. The brothels continued in this area up until World War II. St. Mark's Square and the iconic St. Mark's Church is up next. The square holds important government buildings such as the seat of government of Croatia, the seat of Croatian Parliament, as well as the Constitutional Court of Croatia and the Old City Hall. In the center of the square lies the famous St. Mark's Church with its distinctive tiled roof. The roof, which is known as the Croatian roof, was constructed using over 16,000 tiles. They were meticulously arranged to create the medieval coat of arms of Croatia, Dalmatia, Slavonia, and the city of Zagreb. St. Mark's Church is one of the oldest architectural buildings in Zagreb. It was built in the 13th century in the Romanesque style. This church has been altered throughout its history, blending different architectural elements and styles. The Gothic portal has 15 effigies placed in 11 niches. This church is one of the well-known symbols of the city. There is no admission to enter. The Museum of Broken Relationships is kind of a fun and quirky place to visit while you're in Zagreb. It houses a collection of memorabilia from broken relationships and love lost. Each piece of memorabilia has a story that goes with it. This tower is a 13th century tower that was built to guard the southern gate of Gradic town. The tower lost its function in the 16th century when there was no longer a threat of a Turkish attack. In the centuries that followed, the tower was used for various purposes such as storage, houses, and a coffee house. At the end of the 19th century, a cannon was installed. Every day at noon, it would be fired so all the church bell ringers could set the correct time. The cannon is still fired every day at noon. The first floor now houses a gift shop. The second and third floors house a gallery, and the top floor offers an observation deck with great views. It is closed on Monday, but it is usually open every other day until 8, and it costs €3 to go up. This tunnel is actually a group of underground tunnels under the city center. It was built in World War II to serve as a bomb shelter and a promenade. The tunnels span almost 1,200 feet and consist of 6 passageways. It fell into disrepair after the war, but was remodeled in 2016 and now serves as a tourist attraction, which also hosts cultural events. Next, take the funicular ride down to Old Town. This is locally known as the Old Lady. It was the first means of public transportation in the city. Beginning in the 1890s, the funicular has been transporting visitors and citizens from the upper town to the lower town in under a minute. Originally powered by steam engines that weren't very reliable, it wasn't uncommon for passengers to have to get out and push the carts. This earned it the nickname Stucker. Seems to me it would have just been better to walk up the hill. Luckily, the steam engines were replaced by electric ones in 1934, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. The rides depart every 10 minutes from 6:30 in the morning to 10 at night and cost about €1. This square, often referred to as the heart of Zagreb, is the main square in Lower Town. It's a lively square surrounded by impressive architectural landmarks, cafes, and shops, making it a great option to soak in the city's vibrant atmosphere. The square has been a gathering place for locals and visitors since the 17th century and has witnessed numerous historical events and demonstrations throughout Zagreb's history. This square is pedestrianized, but is the main hub for the tram line. And during Christmas, it is decorated with numerous trees and lights, making it a fun place for the holidays. Lower Town is home to the Green Horseshoe. This is a U-shaped route of plazas and parks, and it passes by many of the main attractions. After visiting the square, head to the Art Pavilion on the Green Horseshoe. Established in 1898, it is the oldest art gallery in Southeast Europe. It does not have a permanent display, only housing rotating exhibits, and has displayed over 700 exhibits. Admission price varies depending on the exhibit. Directly in front of the Art Pavilion is the King Tomislav Square. This square commemorates the first king of Croatia, who was crowned in 925. There's a pretty grassy area to relax and have a rest. The main train station in Zagreb, named this, is at the end of this square. This historic building was built in 1892. The Botanical Gardens of the Faculty of Science at the University of Zagreb was founded in 1889 by a professor at the university. It first opened to the public a few years later in 1891. It covers 12 acres and has 10,000 plant species. It is free to walk around this gorgeous botanical gardens, but it is closed during the winter, so check the dates before you go. There are also guided tours available. The Nikola Tesla Technical Museum is another wonderful museum available. This museum opened to the public in 1963. It features a 1,000-foot underground recreation of a coal mine, a recreation of Tesla's laboratory, and a planetarium. Cost of admission is around €5, and it is open from 10 to 8 every day except for Mondays, when it closes early at 6. The Croatian National Theatre, which is commonly known as HNK, is a magnificent neo-Baroque building. It serves as the home of the opera, drama, and ballet companies. This cultural institution is a true architectural gem that has graced the city since 1895. The theater's auditorium features an intricate ceiling fresco depicting allegorical figures and scenes from Croatian history. Ticket prices vary based on performances, ranging from approximately $7 to $30. There are even tours of this theater. These one-hour tours are led by actors, and you get to see the auditorium, the stage, backstage, and even costume workshops and ballet studios. The tours are €8, and you can get those at the box office. The Mimara Museum is located in a neoclassical former school. This is the private art collection of Ante Topic Mimara, who donated almost 4,000 works of art to Zagreb. The collection spans thousands of years and includes pieces from all over the world. Glassware from Alexandria, jade from the Jing dynasty, and paintings from the masters such as Renoir and Degas are all included in this museum. It costs €5 to get in, and it's closed on Mondays. If you have a few more days in Zagreb, there are some more sights to see. The first is this cemetery. This cemetery is a final resting place of many notable Croatians, including artists, writers, politicians, and influential figures who have shaped the nation's history. The cemetery's arcades, designed in the Neo-Renaissance style, stretch for over a mile and are adorned with intricate carvings and sculptures. It is free to enter this cemetery. To get there, you will probably want to take public transportation or drive. If you really want to walk, it will take about an hour from the city center. Driving will be about 10 minutes. If you want to take public transportation, you can take the 201 bus from this station to this station, or you can take the 14 tram from this station to this station. South of the city is Jarun Lake, and this is a great way to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy some nature. The lake is part of the Jarun Sports and Leisure Center, where you can run, bike, paddle, swim, sail, and row. There are also soccer fields, outdoor gyms, tennis and squash courts, a running track, dozens of outdoor ping pong tables, and even a horse riding plot. One side of the lake is for swimming and the other is for paddling, rowing, and sailing. Tram 17 can take you from the city center there, from this stop to this stop. Just be aware though that the park is huge, and so you may have to walk even when you get off of the tram. With another day in this gorgeous area, one of the best things to do is to go on a day trip from Zagreb, and there are many to choose from. I'll just cover a few here. About an hour's drive away is this town. It's often referred to as Little Vienna. It's a charming Baroque town that exudes an air of elegance and history. While you're there, stroll through the picturesque old town and admire the well-preserved palaces, churches, and the 16th century fortifications. Make sure not to miss the Citadel, which is a magnificent fortress that now houses a museum and offers stunning views of the city. There is a direct train from Zagreb to here, and it takes about 2 hours. This town is approximately 30-minute drive from Zagreb, and it's a really popular day trip. It has a charming historical center, traditional architecture, and a vibrant cultural scene. The narrow streets and the colorful houses with intricate floral motifs are absolutely adorable. Make sure when you're there that you try the cream cakes. They're called this, and they're absolutely delicious. The bus company Lotrščak runs buses from here to Zagreb regularly. This region is another great day trip from Zagreb. It's known for its picturesque landscapes, and it offers a delightful escape into the heart of the Croatian countryside. It's located about an hour from Zagreb. It's full of quaint villages dotted with vineyards and rolling hills, and there are a few castles to enjoy in this area as well. This area is going to be more difficult to get to if you don't have a car. If you really don't want to rent a car, then your best bet is to hire a driver or a local guide, or to go on an organized tour. Getting there. Zagreb has an international airport named this, which makes it easily accessible from all over Europe and beyond. The only direct flight it has to Zagreb from North America is a seasonal one from Toronto. Once you land at the airport, there is a shuttle bus that takes you directly into the city center. It runs every 30 minutes and it costs about €8. Zagreb's main train station, which is this, is also well connected to other European destinations. Once you arrive at the train station, you will be close to all the sites, but if you don't want to walk, hop on tram number 6, which passes the main square. Zagreb has an efficient bus system, making it easy to find a bus to Zagreb from many places. And once you get to the bus station, again, tram 6 will take you to Zagreb's main square. Croatia is a relatively easy place to rent a car. It has a well-maintained highway system. That's what we do when we visit there. We love to have our own car so that we can go on our own schedule and find all those off the beaten path places that public transportation doesn't go to. If you are driving though, you won't really need it in the city, so you can just park it and walk around, as it is a very walkable city. Getting around. Once you're in Zagreb, it's a breeze to get around. Like I said, most everything is within walking distance. There may be a few things that you want to take public transportation to, and if you do, it's really simple. Public transportation is called ZET, and you can buy a ticket ahead of time from a tobacco stand. There's one on almost every street corner. You can also buy a ticket directly on board the tram or the bus. If you buy one on board, they're slightly more expensive. If you get one ahead of time, make sure you stamp it as you enter the vehicle. There are stamping machines usually at both the front and the rear of each vehicle. Whether you have a short time in Zagreb or you are slow traveling, you will not be disappointed with all it has to offer. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in us custom designing the perfect itinerary for you, visit us at our website at Eurotravels by Design.